Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the New Byte podcast.
Hey guys.
Woo.
Hello.
So, it's Wednesday again, my dudes, and of course, as it is usual for Wednesday, we have a podcast. Today, I welcome, as usual, the side host, DJ H341, also known as Dan.
Hello.
And sadly, I have to announce Emily can't make it tonight, but we still have an awesome guest also here, so let's talk about who's our guest tonight. It's Justinuhh.
Justinuhh.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Awesome. Today was a nice sunny day, and I hope everyone was able to enjoy it at least a little bit. I don't know. How's the weather in Britain over there?
Oh, the weather is quite hot, but also very rainy, as per usual British weather. Hot with lots of rain.
Should I bring my umbrella next time then?
Yes, and I think for this section I need a screen so I can say hot with weather showers coming in from the east.
If you could send some showers to me,
I'll push them across the Atlantic.
Nice. Alright guys, let's start with the first section, I guess, because we have a guest today, as you can see, and I would love to have a few questions answered. So, Justinuhh, where are you from? What are you doing like?
I am from Texas in the United States, and I am a Twitch variety caster. I play things like Destiny every now and then, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Sims, anything, literally. As well as being a huge K-pop fan. So if you see like my social media, it's like 99% K-pop.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Don't worry. Nice. All right, Justinuhh, how long are you doing that now?
I've been streaming for, I think later this year, it'll be 3 years total. And it's been, I had to take a long break for a while, so it's been off and on. But 3 years streaming and, more watching Twitch. It's been fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, people, if you want to follow Justinuhh, her Twitter, it is under her picture on the left side. Sadly, webcam is turned off for today. There were some problems, and before we go into a delay, we just said, well, let's put up a nice picture of her here. So that's why we don't have live feed right now to the US.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's also the same username at Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to follow her on Twitch as well, check it out. It's really a nice time. Always, when I can get to stream. It's always late for me, of course, in Europe, but yeah.
Time zones, they're so far.
Oh, they're crazy.
I'm quite surprised how Discord is handling the connection right now, because between Germany and Great Britain is always like, okay. We had it last week when we watched the Battlefield V reveal, where Dan was always seeing all the things on the live stream like 2 seconds before I got to see it. And he was always laughing about things and saying, oh my god, he said this. And I'm like, no, he said that. So it's really nice to see how everything works out. Technology is amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Things you can do with technology.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
All right. Usually we start our podcast always with what we've been doing. We did that for the past 11 shows that we just talked about games that we played, about having a little conversations with everyone. We also decided, why not talk about a little more than just games, because not everyone has time for games. If I look back for my own week last week, I had only time to play one evening of Rainbow Six Siege, and maybe today a little bit. So let's open it up. Let's be a little more open if we enjoyed some music that we listened to or watched a movie. And of course, Justinuhh, as our guest, you can start. What have you enjoyed last week that you want to share with us?
The past week, for sure, Avengers Infinity War.
Cool.
Amazing. We also watched Deadpool 2, which was wonderful.
Nice.
As well. A nice change between the two movies. But also, I've been doing a lot of like Stardew Valley.
Oh,
I'm absolutely obsessed with the game. I'm late to it, but I'm pretty sure I've already put in about a week's worth of games in like just a couple of days. I'm sorry, but
Don't have to be. It's a good game.
On my social media, BTS came out with a new album, so I've been obsessed with that as well.
That makes a lot of sense. Why not, right?
You'll have to explain the whole K-pop thing to me. I don't understand it.
It's So I call myself kind of like a K-pop grandma because I've been in it since like 2002. But since then, it's grown so much just in the past like couple of years. It is absolutely insane.
Wow.
BTS just like broke the scene over here in America, and now you literally can't go anywhere without hearing it. Literally. I went to they brought out a new album, and our Target sells it. And I think we went to about 5 different Targets, and every single one was sold out.
Damn.
So it's insane.
Wow.
And it's just guys singing and dancing, but
especially like physical releases of albums that are still sold out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
2018.
And they're breaking records at the same time, so you're gonna see a lot of younger people getting more into K-pop.
Yeah, that's quite interesting as always. Like Germany had its boy band phase, I guess 10 years too late, like everyone else in the world. And who knows what it will happen in the future here around. So yeah, BTS, I heard a few Germans also talking about that, but I don't know how big it is here. So I see it always on Twitter as a more worldwide thing. People are always sharing like gifs of people smiling, and they're all so cute, and I think like probably. Like, I can't complain. If I listened to a few songs of them, I heard some of them when you were streaming and they were in the background. And I quite enjoy that music, of course, because it's not bad. It's just like, well, okay, yeah, it's there. It's not what I proactively would look out for, I guess. I don't know.
For a lot of people, it's like, you know, how do you like it when it's in a completely different language? But for so many of us, like myself, it's more just the feeling of music, and their music videos and their performances are so cinematic that you kind of somehow get like hypnotized into it. It's literally a craze.
Yeah, no, maybe it's also the way how I consume music, because I've been converted to Spotify just at the start of this year. They had this awesome program where you could get 3 months of premium for, I think, €3. So basically nothing. Yeah. And now it turned into, of course, the usual thing, I think, for €11 or something. So I was just thinking, should I stop it now or, well, maybe later? And I got so used to that, I think, okay, I guess, well, I just continue to use it. But the thing is always now, of course, the algorithm is saying what I'm listening to, at least. If I not actively say, hey, I want to listen to this artist specifically. And I really like that function if it just says, hey, there's something that's more similar to this, or more similar to that, but you always see like it's mostly like English language music. It's nothing else really. There are sometimes French artists which are like to hear, especially in the house and dance sector, and they're rarely coming over if they're not internationally successful as well. So I wonder if someday I will have like K-pop bands also on my recommended feed, but who knows? Maybe.
If you listen to it enough.
Should start listening to it. Just go over and let's go. 10 hours of BTS. I don't know if they have that much music, but yeah.
If they don't, you can just put it on repeat. You'll be singing it in your sleep.
And another person converted. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been also seeing Deadpool 2 last week with a friend together. We watched the double feature, right? It's not a triple feature. There's no third part yet. We watched the first one, and then directly after that, the second one. And it was quite good, I gotta say. Like, if I would have seen the second one alone with the other one just years ago, I might have not enjoyed it as much as I did now. Because, for example, the joke with it only takes like 4 moments, that was well more effective in that moment because I just saw the last one where it was the punchline at the end from the first movie. And so many more things that you see. Oh, connection here, connection there. They did that joke, but with a twist, like the X-Men house, if you know that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's amazing. So many great things happen in the second one. And I like to think, actually, that Deadpool 2 is better than the first one. I mean, we can discuss this here, but to me, it worked well better.
I'd say in terms of the whole Deadpool series, they really kind of let loose with the character and said to the writers who actually care about the series, write what you think Deadpool is about, and they nailed it. They've absolutely nailed it. That's why it's so popular, because it's hard talking, hard hitting, trash talking craziness that is Deadpool. There's just nothing more you can say about it.
It breaks so many fourth walls as well. It's nice. You just let loose.
Something like 16 walls.
It's a wall break inside of a wall break. That's like 16 walls. And the fun fact is, it actually were 16 times that the wall has been broken up until that point in the movie. It's amazing. They literally did that. There were 16 times they broke the fourth wall. So
yeah, I went back and watched the first one, and after watching Deadpool 2, and it's crazy because there's the first scenes that you see of Deadpool is him riding in the back of Dopinda's car, and it's literally like they just got Ryan Reynolds dressed up in a Deadpool suit, stuck him in the back of a taxi, and went, just do you.
Mm-hmm.
He does so well as Deadpool. I feel like that's that's his calling.
I love the end of the second one where he just kills himself over the script of Green Lantern.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
That was amazing.
I'm just like, yes, thank you.
Finally, revenge.
Revenge.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Other than that,
so what else have you been up to this week, House Test?
I mean, I just wanted to ask you because I did my part of Deadpool too. I mean, we can talk about games, but all the things that I played were actually also in the news, so I'll keep that for later. Okay. So, Dan, what did you do last week?
Well, so I am lucky enough to, well, not lucky enough, I paid for it. I own a cinema subscription that allows me to see any film I want, anytime, as long as I pay money. So I got to, I made some time to de-stress myself by going to watch, I think I've watched Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and the new Solo film. So I've seen pretty much all of the, in my opinion, the good ones at the moment.
The good and big ones, probably, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I've been enjoying those, along with writing lots of stuff for dissertation. And hopefully that will be the end of the bane of my life soon. Soon. Let me go.
Yeah. Good luck with that, of course.
Thank you very much.
I mean, what's with E3 in 1.5 weeks? You got time then?
Have I got time? Yes. Yeah. I should have the final hand in. Should be on the 5th of next month.
Well, perfect.
And then I should be done. And hopefully no retakes. So yeah.
Good luck with that then. And then for E3 we're back and we're tired all the time and got the jokes. Like, I really enjoyed what we did last week after the podcast. We did the Battlefield review. So if you missed that, check it out on our website or on our YouTube channel. We have the full recording there. Luckily, they didn't strike us because I did that one edit that everyone did. Just put in some music of that review trailer of Battlefield V5 or whatever. And if I tried to put that up on YouTube as it is, just with more music, got instantly striked. And like content ID, it says worldwide blocked. So it was like
same thing happened with mine.
We put it on Twitter and on Facebook, so you can see it's there if you want to. I tried to edit in a little bit more Battlefield music, which we know of from Battlefield 3, 4, and a little bit of 1. So it has all the good things that I consider to be good. But Dan also did a great edit of a song that I didn't know before. And I was thinking that it's fitting 100%.
Yeah, it was. I previously, before I did, we started New Byte, I messed around with taking some lesser known songs and mashing them together with YouTube with trailers for video games. And yeah, that song was the first thing that popped into my head when I saw it, and it just worked so well. I'm really happy with that one. So yeah, definitely have a look at mine. Mine's on my Twitter account because, like House Tests, worldwide blocking. Boo. But yeah, definitely go check it out, and definitely check out House Tests. House Tests was amazing.
Thanks. Oh yeah, Chad was also asking how was Solo. So could you do it in a non-spoiler way, because I'm still seeing it in 2 days, I think.
Yeah, of course. It's very easy to sum up. Well, the Solo movie redeems Star Wars movies. I would say. For the main reason that episodes 7 and 8 were okay, but not fantastic. imagine that you're going to watch the same quality as Rogue One. Because Rogue One was great, but of course critics didn't like it. But then when are the critics ever right now? So definitely go see the Solo movie if you have the opportunity to. It is very much worth watching.
Yeah, I was a little put off by Rogue One, but just for a few minor things. Overall, I still liked it, and especially because it filled a good gap. There was just a really great story to be told. So I don't know how Solo does it, because from what I heard, it's just like the beginning phase. He gets the Millennium Falcon. He gets to know Chewie then, of course. So more like an origin story, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's one of these things where you have to do it right that all of the fans appreciate it. So I went to go see it with my brother as his birthday treat.
Oh, nice.
And he is such a massive Star Wars fan. Massive Star Wars fan. He knows all the lore parts to it. He can really like break down a movie with each tiny little details that go deep into it. And he said there was nothing that was wrong with that film in terms of lore and sticking with everything that we know. And of course, there were several interviews with like Harrison Ford and I cannot remember the guy's name who played Lando Calrissian.
Daniel Glover.
Yes, and they both said their characters played by the new actors were fantastic, and I agree. It was brilliant. I came out of that movie hoping that Disney look at this format and go, okay, let's apply this kind of style and enthusiasm to the story onto Episode 9 to redeem the whole saga, because I hated Episode 8.
It's a topic for itself. Yeah.
Scrap that. Bring me a new one.
I don't know. Yeah, that was quite a thing. I don't know. Yeah, so we still wanted to have an Avengers Infinity spoiler cast. So we talked in depth about the story, and especially I had to say, like, I didn't like the movie overall. There were great moments. I was really excited when I saw Captain America for the first time. Like, I was the only one in the theater, like, oh my god, it's oh my, holy shit, that is amazing. But other than that, there were so many things I was like, okay.
You're one of those guys who, like, it's like favorite character comes to the screen and you're like, oh yeah,
clapping and all.
Yeah.
I've seen the first Avengers when it came out the night before. And, it was amazing. Everyone laughed. The scene where Hulk smashes Thor in the sides, everyone laughed, and we even applauded that. Like, how many times can you recall that just everyone genuinely laughed and just clapped because it was such a nice thing? I've never seen that before, especially in the later presentations in movie showings where just people are going because of, and they're not that pure-hearted fans, I'd say, that are just going because they really need to see it. It's quite different. It's really amazing how that works out. So maybe I could have gotten a better presentation if I was going earlier, but I waited another week because I wanted to go with my family and with my father for Father's Day here. Who knows?
Yeah. When I saw it, I saw first I went to see it on my own, and then the second time I went to go see it with my brother because he's home from college. But yeah, the first time when I saw it, it was. I was lucky enough to be in the movie theater on my own. There was nobody else who was watching it at that time. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. So I watched the film and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very well done. And then the second time when I saw it with my brother, and I really recommend you try and do this if you can, but there was a little kid who was probably between the ages of 5 and 10 who was watching the film, and every time something happened, he would lean up, he would say in a quiet but loud voice, "Did he just do that?" Or "What's going on?" Really added to that. It was that just extra bit. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
that's the good part about movie theaters is when the audience reacts.
Yeah,
it makes it so much better.
Yeah,
I'd say you guys over across the pond have a it's more of an interactive audience with what's going on, because us Brits, we sit in a movie theater and most of the time silence until the film is done, and then that's it, and people get up and walk out. Every now and again you'll get a person who is like a small kid would be talking, or like with the Deadpool, there was a couple of people who were laughing along with it, but that's very rare.
Yeah. Oh, we have that too. Like some of those jokes, especially the one where, not to spoiler, but the same thing happened like in the first part, and then something had to regrow. Like, ooh. There were some really funny scenes, and everyone laughed at that scene where they did what is it called? Basic Instinct moment.
Oh right, that. Oh no, that was. Oh,
that was great.
I showed my dad the first Deadpool film, and he is like very, very he's really into like old war films and everything, and this was like a real stretch because he likes superhero films, but this one's kind of like that pushes the boundary a lot. So he watched it and he was like, it was actually quite good. I am very worried to show Deadpool 2 to him. I'm just like, oh no. And he said he wants to see it as well, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but that's a great thing. Shall we continue?
Good stuff. Of course.
Because we're at a good time right now, and I think we should go on over to the news and let's discuss these as well. We also have, of course, the releases later on. I sorted them out a little bit, so they're not that many right now, and I hope every of these titles are interesting to you. But before we go about that, of course, let's go to the news, and we see...
The news!
We have an article here that is done by Emily, actually, and I would love to have her talk about it a little bit here, because she was writing about what she expects to have from EA Play this time, which is the counter event to E3 right now, and she was also writing about what she wanted to have from Sims 5. So, I'm not that Sims guy, really. I can't really talk much about it, but maybe just, Tina, if you were to design your next Sims 5 game, what would you put into it?
Honestly, if they could basically recreate Sims 3.
See, that's the exact thing that Emily has written down.
With Sims 4 graphics, perfect. There's so many things in Sims 4 that just breaks my heart, that I really hope what they do with Sims 5 is look at all the things we complain about, the things we like, and actually put that into the game instead of being like, oh, they don't want pools, let's not do that, or toddlers. And then, they have to backtrack and put it in later, which is what they did. But
yeah, so weird.
I got high hopes. We went from Sims 3 to Sims 4, and it was just, I still play it a lot. I'll download like thousands of mods for it, but I got high hopes.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe. But yeah, definitely check out the article though. It's in my opinion a good read.
Yeah, it's called The Sims Game to My Heart, available on our website, thenewbyte.com. Alright, next part is something that I can actually talk about, and that is the ridiculous case of PUBG suing Epic, because apparently PUBG, or Bluehole in that case, still think that they own all the rights to Battlegrounds and Battle Royale games, which, I mean, it makes halfway sense because Brendan Green is the one that sort of invented that genre as a game mode, but let's be honest here, PUBG is like the least creative one compared to Fortnite. Like, I watched another Jimquisition video about it today, and just the arguments clearly, they're not that special, except that they made it big, sort of.
Yeah, I think that in terms of this lawsuit, it's a bit silly, but you can see where PUBG are coming from, with like the entire Fortnite game mode was just an add-on to the game. It wasn't even majorly planned for the release of Fortnite. Fortnite was supposed to be a single-player, a co-op to single-player game of zombie defense, and then it turned into, let's do a battle royale mode because everyone's obsessed with PUBG, and then everyone got obsessed with Fortnite because it added building and a bit more complexity to it. But it is a case of just kind of like, you stole my idea, and them going, well, it's an idea, we can't steal that. And
it's interesting that it's only in Korea, though.
Yeah, it's because Bluehole is located in Korea and South Korea. So they're operating from there, and that makes sense that they're going for that. Yeah, I don't know. They already did that with 2 mobile games, and it's not like they are wrong to say, oh, we have our own mobile game now, and these games are too similar. and there's a case that has to be made always like if this is a product that is infringing copyright and trademarks and all that, can only be done because people would mistake the copy of the thing for the real thing, and that damages, of course, the real owner of the thing. But in that case, basically, it's just like the explanations were, look at our pants are iconic, and they shared a meme where was a guy just clustered with pants, and they gave that as a reason to say, look at our pants, it's our iconic pen that we had, and everyone was like, if you say so, like, it's really weak, so many points, like, we have vehicles, and they are too, and oh my god. It's so weak, and that they're now going for Epic is just ridiculous. Because we know as Ralph right now, I think it's quite clear Fortnite is the better developed game. It doesn't have to be the better game because that's more a taste question, but they're also doing better everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
On Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, I'd say the main reason why Fortnite is doing so well as a game mode is because they already have all of the assets and everything in the single player / co-op mode. It's just a case of taking those and incorporating it into a map and then changing the different elements as they're supposed to be played. Because with PUBG, they're developing the game as a whole. All the assets have to be made for gameplay, or anything that they add has to be semi-realistic. Whereas with Fortnite, you can just go as creative as you want because it's cartoonish and it's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be just fun.
But I was going to say, it was so fitting to have Thanos in there for the event. And it also made it even more popular, of course, because Avengers Infinity was insanely successful. So, I know.
Those Disney bucks.
Yeah, well worth it. Maybe more worth than V-Bucks.
Well, I would totally, if Disney wants to sponsor any of us, go on ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I'll put on the Mickey head, like, hello everyone, welcome to the new podcast.
Do I have to do the Disney thing where I do the loops and everything?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I think the other thing that makes Fortnite more popular is the free to play. I think that there's so many like kids and young teens who can access this game versus PUBG. A lot of them would have to go to their parents and buy it. But instead, like literally the freeness of the game, I feel like just exploded. So you have schools over here that have actually banned the use of cell phones because of Fortnite and stuff.
Damn.
It's bad.
That's pretty intense.
And here's also another great thing that Epic does better than Bluehole, because the mobile version of PUBG is done by Tencent Gaming, the Chinese publisher. I think it's mainly a publisher. And this is a separate account that you have from your Xbox or Steam account. Whereas with Epic, you have one account for every system. You can play literally everywhere. It does not run everywhere that well. I have a 2017 MacBook here, which does not run it really well. But for example, my iPhone even can run Fortnite, and it's just amazing. And all the cosmetics that you've put in your work for, because even if you get the Battle Pass, just get a small amount of cosmetic items, and you still have to do lots of assignments and all the things, so you get more stuff that are really cool. And that always entices to people to play more, of course, and they, of course, feel rewarded if they can take that anywhere they want, especially like young kids who just don't have that much money. They can see their awesome character everywhere they want and just like to play everywhere, of course. That's awesome for them. With PUBG, it's just like, not happening.
Yeah.
And even the things that are in there are like normal. Yeah, especially that.
Yeah.
It's always good
I am ultimately biased though, because I hate PvP games. Cooperative games are much more fun because everyone wins. There's no loser unless the AI beat you, and then you can beat them harder. But yeah, PvP games just make me angry sometimes when I can't do well or can't perform the way that I want to perform. So yeah, down with the stupid game modes of Battle Royale where one person wins and I always lose. Why?
You can still squad up, you know that.
I know, but I've never received a chicken dinner. The closest I've got is second in both squads and solo play. It's always like just close, and then the guy beats me to death with a pan.
There's always that one angle that nobody thinks of, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Ow. At least now you have a kill cam.
Yes. Yeah, that always helps.
So, just, how much did you play any of the Battle Royale games? Did you even play those?
Honestly, I've never touched PUBG because it didn't really interest me. I did play when H1 had the King of the Kill. I played that a little bit.
Yeah,
it is okay. And Fortnite is probably the one that I touched the most, just because I play with friends. Like, literally, that's its selling point to me, is I have fun with friends. But for solo games, I'm just like, I hate this because I can't win.
Yeah.
I get suck at this game. So just give me friends who can carry me the whole way, please.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
But everything's turning into Battle Royale. You have Call of Duty. Next thing you know, there's going to be like Mario Battle Royale.
I'm still waiting for Cooking Mama Royale. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Dr. Kawashima's Brain Battle Royale. Only the best cells survive.
That'd be great.
100 brain cells go in, one survives.
Sims Battle Royale. Now that would be funny.
Yeah.
I would love to see, like, are you gonna, I don't know, catch people on fire, drown them in pools?
Yeah, you're just doing ladders off everything.
If EA takes that, feel free to give me some royalty.
Yeah. I mean, we have it on tape, right? So there's that.
Yeah, it's documented. It's documented now.
Absolutely. All right. One game that definitely does not have a Battle Royale mode, despite all expectations, is the new Battlefield game, Battlefield 5 or Battlefield Eevee, which saw release and reveal just after our last podcast. So we feel like we should talk about it at least briefly. I'm not sure how much you want to go in about all the stuff that the internet does, of course, because the internet is how it is. I'm just saying, like, Battlefield V looks quite cool. Apparently, lots of gameplay changes were made that made squad play more important, more like the very first Battlefield games. And even though it's in World War II, it's way less like Battlefield 1 and way more like Battlefield 2, actually. Which is ironically the earlier title than Battlefield 1. So yeah, if you want to read up on that, we've written an article, of course, on our website as well. Seen some cool screenshots about that and all the things that are important as of right now. Oh yeah, there's one thing. One thing also, they have no loot boxes, which I was still cynic about last time, and no premium pass, which was announced in the review stream. No premium pass. I was thinking like, well, okay, they gotta finance the game somehow because they want to make it a live system with updates coming to everyone, and nobody needs to have a premium status. But not even having loot boxes, that is weird. Like, how are they going to finance the development of that?
I wonder if they'll do like a Battlefront, like, oh no, we're not doing this right now, but later they might start introducing things.
They're not called loot boxes, they're loot crates.
Loot crates.
Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, you get actual physical loot crates in front of your doorstep, and inside of there's a key, maybe, for cosmetic.
Oh my gosh.
It just turns into Battlefield 5. You're just running around the map, just digging up holes, trying to find where the key is. Like, give me that key.
Who knows?
I am interested to see what they're going to do storyline wise with Battlefield 5, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions for me personally. Like, with your creator squad, is that AI that follow you around? Is that anybody who joins you has to wear the same uniform as your squads? Like, because that, if you know, like, one of your players is always play sniper, and then you make them like bright orange, and you're just like, that would just be so evil.
Yeah,
that would be very, very evil to do.
It probably will be like all the other titles in the series where you just have a logo somewhere, and it's not that obvious, and the characters still look more like themselves. And they're all playing under the banner of a platoon or whatever, and that's how they do it. It's not like with AI, nothing with that. It's real people, real multiplayer. Okay. Besides, of course, the campaign, which is War Tides, I think.
Yeah,
or Titanfall.
I'm interested to see what the campaign has to offer, but I think that's one thing that a lot of people will buy Battlefield over Call of Duty is because they actually have a story mode, and like people like myself are invested in a good story. I really liked some of the stories that came from Call of Duty, but if they're just going to rip them all out and say, "Oh, it's all in multiplayer now," it's like, why? What's the point? It's we've already seen a game that's done this. Titanfall 1 tried to do that and it didn't work. How are you going to make yours different that it actually does work? I don't see it happening.
Here's the thing. I'd say that's not true, because there is a way, and there was a game that did story different. That was Overwatch. All the comics, all the lore that's in between, some of these special events, it is different. It has lore. The thing is, you just don't see it as a campaign. But that's the innovative thing about it, right? You're not consuming the game at one piece and like you're done.
Okay.
You're getting continuously stories from that universe. It's like a comic release, basically.
No, I see where you're going with that. The only difference is they didn't say that they're moving like story mode to the lore or whatever. They said
they did that.
Each of the
they said that in the review stream.
Okay, because what I heard was we're taking the story mode and we're putting it into multiplayer. And that just seems more like a Titanfall thing to me. Yeah. And it just means that either they're going to have it so that you play a story across multiplayer maps, or they're going to have it as you have to complete certain objectives within a multiplayer mission to traverse it, which is going to be horrendous if you have a bunch of people who are just there to play multiplayer because they're just going to destroy you unless you're amazing at it. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. I want to see more information before I commit to anything on both accounts for Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah, as always. Don't pre-order, and if you want to play the beta, there will always be keys somewhere that you can find without pre-ordering. Or you do the old Amazon trick. You can just pre-order there. You get your key anyway, and you can just discard the pre-order. Always.
Nice.
Good stuff. People sometimes forget about that. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's better to just wait until the game comes out, because then all you're getting is like a little beta. 9 times out of 10. Most people don't even end up playing it much.
I always went back to Black Ops 3, which I loved in the beta so much that I didn't play the final game, because I just played it out. I was playing so much on the PlayStation 4, then on PC. And when the release came around, I just played the campaign and like maybe 5 hours of the multiplayer, and I was done with the game. I already had so many hours in the beta.
Yeah, I've played like stupid amounts of time when any betas have come around for like The Division or Destiny 1 when it was good. But the problem is I've been destroyed with like pre-ordering items on the basis of either a decent beta or a really good reveal trailer and everything that looks good for it, including promises that we've learned from our mistakes. Have you now? Anyway, so yeah, definitely do a lot of research before getting it, and then even maybe wait a week, because it's not worth it to just buy something that is going to be a hassle to return, and it's going to be a hassle to deal with. So.
And honestly, in these days, it's easier than ever to get impressions from other people that have access to the games before release.
Definitely.
And if you find someone that you can trust, who you're sort of on the same wavelength, let's say these games are not mine, and you think, they're also not mine as well. So then you will know. Yeah. You can always get a good impression from the internet these days. I did that as well. I watched the reveal trailer and was thinking, okay, I don't really know what to say about it. I watched 1 or 2 YouTubers who actually played the game, had actual multiplayer gameplay, and they talked a little about it, and then I learned way more about the game than I had from the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
Alright. Who likes Pokemon?
Me.
Hey.
Cool. Well, glad to hear that, because the Pokemon Company had quite a few reveals today, actually 3 of them. The very last one, I start with the last one because it's probably the most interesting one, is that there will be a main core title RPG game on the Nintendo Switch in the second half of 2019. So, for all the fans that were hoping last year that they will bring a new title this year to E3, that's apparently not happening because there's no time for that yet. But instead, we also get two other things. One is out right now, that is Pokemon Quest, a fun little free-to-start game, which I played already a little bit of. I can talk about that in just a second. And the second one is coming out on November 16th, and that is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Hashtag Eevee is the best starter.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Screw all of you. Charmander for the go.
Okay, yeah. If I had to choose, it'd be Charmander or Eevee. But I mean Pikachu's cool and everything. But
I remember back in the day,
also overrated.
the very first generation, I started with Charmander, and just 10 years later, I learned like I should have going with Bulbasaur because that was the easiest starter, right?
You gotta fire all the way when it comes to those three.
Oh yeah, the fire of the three starters, the fire one always looks so cool.
Yeah.
I really feel bad, especially for the most recent ones with the water types, like Poplio. Just I feel so sorry for him. He's such a good boy, but no. But no, the evolutions are 100% my thing. Every time I play Pokemon games, I must collect every single evolution that's available and have one of each type, including the normal, because that's the best. It's the best way to do it.
I think on my Pokemon Go account, I'm still missing one type. Incorrectly.
The new Pokemon is rumored to be the new evolution, so I'm like, what is this going to be?
All right,
I'm
well,
excited.
Let's take a deeper look, I guess, into the first game, Pokemon Quest, which is out right now on Nintendo Switch. As I said before, free to start, so everyone can play it, and let me show that on the stream. So these are actually real screenshots that I did from the game, and I took them from my Nintendo Switch, so this is not preview material. And yeah, as you can see, it's quite blocky. Why is it that blocky? It looks like the Pokemon were dropped into Cube World and then extracted again. And that is because we actually play on a completely different island, and that is Tumble Cube Island.
Ooh.
I think it's quite cute, actually, because the blocky thing gives it more like, it's so toony. And they all have the yells from the original first-generation Pokemon titles. So they all have all the screams. I can't do that with my mouth, but you know what I mean. Like
the screams of the damned.
Screams, like, that was horrible.
Yes.
Oh my.
Hashtag I need to buy a Switch.
Yeah.
You got to. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I've wanted to buy a Switch for a long time, but it's been a combination of the Switch is still super expensive, and then the games as well. There's not very many of them, but the ones that are good are still super expensive, and it's just like I need to quit university, get a job, get some money, and buy a Switch.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really looking forward to actually experiencing like Breath of the Wild and some of the new Pokemon games and things. So, yeah, good stuff.
I'm just putting the trailer on free here so everyone can see how it looks like, and we can still continue to talk about things.
Sure. The Pokemon Quests though, it looks even with the blocky kind of images that they've provided, like I still think it feels very, very classic Pokemon.
Absolutely,
because it's got the art style is still very similar and everything, and they've if you play one after the other, or just look at screenshots of all like the starting locations as they go through the game's progression and everything, they've still somehow going through black and white massive pixels all the way to like high definition on the most recent ones on Sun and Moon. Like they still kept the art style, and there's barely any difference, and it looks fantastic, and that's always been the massive charm for Pokemon in general. So it's great to see that even with this new more blocky kind of look to it, they've still kept the art style very similar.
Yeah, truly. And it's quite fun because, especially this game, Pokemon Quest, is like a strategy game. Like you only have a maximum of 3 Pokemon in your party, and they're running around the map, which is an island, of course, on their own. And you just actually activate abilities, so they can actually attack with normal attacks, like the claws or something. You can also activate different, like flamethrower, for example, for the fire Pokemon on that. And the way that they just do it, they find Pokemon on their own on the map and just clear all the areas out. And the island that you can see, let's scroll up to the title of the game. So on this island here, if you can see it on the stream, they have all different colors because all these are different zones and, of course, types of Pokemon. So each zone has a theme of Pokemon. And you can fight through all of them within the game. And, of course, it gets more difficult ever and ever, and the Pokemon are getting stronger and all that. And, of course, you have to grind a little bit through it. So right now, I actually paid 30 euros for the maximum pack that you can buy, which contains like 3 more standard packs, which have all different functions. So I actually already expanded my game far beyond the free-to-start function and can play already for at least 2 hours just straight without any stops. Because as it is right now, it's a free-to-play game. You might know that, of course, for mobile titles, there's, of course, the most famous energy bar, which can run out. And if you don't have energy, you have to wait 30 minutes to get 1 point back. And unless you have that, you can't go and explore more of the islands. So that's the first factor that's limiting.
That's my issue.
Yeah, not everyone likes that.
Having to wait.
Especially on a console game, you'd think like, hey, I want to sit down and play that for 3 hours. Why can't I? Well,
yeah.
So that's what I'm actually.
I tried to play a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, to see if it's actually worth it after you pay it, because I don't mind paying for those types of games if they're actually worth my time. So of course I went a little bit overboard with 30 euros, which is the maximum or the biggest pack at once that you can get. But if I can play now for 5 to 6 hours maybe without stopping, or have at least a very good time for, I don't know, 20 to 50 hours over a few weeks, I know it was worth my money going into that. Yeah. Compared to having a free model where you always have stop and go content. The other cool thing is that this game is not only on Nintendo Switch, it will also come out to iOS and Android later. So then maybe you don't need a Nintendo Switch right away just for this game, because it will also come out to phones as well. And I think there it might be even better, because I think there the free-to-play model, where you actually have to wait for half an hour every time, that might work there way better, because maybe you're starting in the morning to play a few minutes, 15 minutes before you go to school. Then you have school time for a few hours, and that time the energy regenerates, and then after school you can play it a little bit, then you go to do your homework, meet friends, and maybe in the evening you play it again for a little bit. Maybe that will work out way better, and especially on phones, I like to think that this is probably a good thing. It's always difficult to judge about that, because sometimes with way different people and way different play starts, but I hope I will see that, of course, and I will do a review for that, let you know if it's worth paying for it, or if you just think maybe not, but I can still try that out.
Yeah.
Cool. Has anyone played Miitomo?
I did a little bit of it when it came out, but with mobile games, I get obsessed for a little bit and then I just completely stop.
Yeah.
So I haven't played it for like, what, a year now or so?
I honestly deinstalled it just after a few weeks because I was so bored of it. You can't do really that much. The decoration aspect is fun, and asking each other a few questions is cool, but I don't know, maybe just ask them anyway. Like, I don't know what's the deal with that. And the actual minigames that were inside the game were just bad. Just literally pachinko machines in digital form. So that was one of the first attempts from Nintendo to go into a mobile gaming, and I like to think that they could have done better, and I hope that with Pokemon Quest we can see this is probably a way better attempt at it. I mean, it's also done, of course, by the Pokemon Company, and they also did, of course, in part with Niantic together Pokemon Go, which is fantastic, of course, and gets even better with each update. Like, they just recently added the Quest system, which actually brought me back as well. I haven't played it for a year, and now I'm on the go sometimes where I say, okay, I'm waiting for the bus. Oh, there's a Pokestop. Let's just get the game out and let's just play for 5 minutes or so. So, yeah.
They did well with Magikarp Jump. So
that one.
If Quest ends up being kind of like that, I could see it doing well on mobile at least. Maybe not console so much, but definitely mobile. It'll do pretty well.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that. That was also a very fun game for a good amount of time.
I never got my shiny Magikarp.
Oh no!
So many people got it, and I'm just like, when is it my turn?
In that game, I mean, what is the shiny one? The gold one, then? Because there's so many ones. I had like 5 to 6. And I don't know if it's because I played that much of it or if I was just really lucky, but I got a few of them. Quite a few.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right,
Yeah,
should we
talking
continue
of
with the
shiny
next one?
Yeah.
Because the next one is more of an actual console title, and that is also linked way deeper into Pokemon Go as well. So let's have a quick talk about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which is actually a remake of the Kanto game, Pokemon Yellow. I don't know, have you played Pokemon Yellow yet? Or ever? It's been a while.
I don't think I have.
Shame, you gotta play it.
Just, you played it, right?
I did. I made sure to download it on the 3DS when it recently came out with red and blue as well.
Yeah, did that too.
Nah,
It's nice
Pokemon
having
Green's where it's
Pokemon.
at. Emerald. Pokemon Emerald.
Oh my
The
god.
original Pokemon games are just so good.
Probably because they're way more simple, and I could enjoy it way more back then. I got Pokemon Moon, I think. Didn't get it. Didn't play it more than, I don't know, the first 2 hours. I was just like, okay, this is great, and I'm gonna play something else, and I never returned to that, sadly.
Yeah. With Moon, I played through the main story. I haven't done any of the post story, but I guess I wanted more. Because you're so limited on the Pokemon that you get, and the world didn't really feel that big to me compared to the last 20 Pokemon games. I haven't done either of the Ultra Sun or Moon ones yet.
Yeah. I still like to think this is a rip-off. This is basically a re-release with just a little bit more.
Well, that is classic Pokemon fashion. Let's release a game, and then we'll do a double version of it, and then we'll re-release it later as an updated version of it, and it'll be fine. Because they did that with I can't remember the. I think they did it with Diamond and Pearl, and then they did Pokemon. I want to say Sapphire without sounding like an idiot. And that was like a and then they combine, because I think because it was with X and Y, everyone was expecting Pokemon Z, which would be a combination of both of them, which they seem to have as their business model for forever. So it's not completely unusual for a Pokemon game to kind of let's rehash something or change something different with it. But I personally would buy into the. I think I got X and Y with the last Pokemon games that I played, and I bought both of them just so I could have both of the Pokemon variants that came in each one that you couldn't get in the other one. So
it's quite crazy. People were actually back in the day talking about Pokemon Z is, of course, the one game that's finally going to Nintendo NX, as it was called back in the day. And as we saw, it didn't happen. So we had Sun and Moon instead, and now we're starting to see the first Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch. And if you haven't read the articles or any news about it yet, let me briefly explain what it is within the next 15 minutes, because it's quite a lot. It basically comes down to, it's a mix of a classic Pokemon RPG, but with way more aspects of Pokemon Go. So you don't catch Pokemon by fighting them, you're just throwing balls at them, like with Pokemon Go. And you can also get an accessoire with that, which is the Pokeball Plus, which is a controller which you can use both as a Pokemon Go Plus accessoire, which automatically tries to catch Pokemon when you're on the go and play Pokemon Go. But it also is a controller for the Nintendo Switch. And the cool thing is, with the Pokemon Let's Go titles, you can play them with just one Joy-Con, which makes them very accessible for many people. If they can only use one hand for gaming, that's great. And the Pokemon Ball also functions the same way. It's basically just a joystick which you can press in to accept an interaction. And if the game is coded around that, it's very easy to do. And the Pokeball, as it's not just a controller, it can also do more things. It can show light. And apparently it can also take Pokemon with it. So you can apparently use it like a Pokemon tracker back in, I don't know, White and Black, where they had that. You can just count your steps and it will help in the game. Sort of works here like that. You can take Pokemon with you and you can have small interactions with that, apparently. According to the trailer we saw, you can load a Pikachu into that Pokeball, take it with you, and it will even respond to you in some way, because there's also a small speaker inside of the Pokeball. That's really cool. And it looks amazing because the first actual HD title coming to Nintendo Switch. And you can have, of course, the choice between Pikachu and Eevee as a starter. I'm not sure if it's like the classic versions, so you have just, 8 Pokemon that you can only get in that version, and 8 different Pokemon that you can only get in that version. Or if it's actually like, if you buy Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, you will have definitely Eevee as a starter. Because back in the day, with Pokemon Yellow, you definitely got always Pikachu as a starter, but you could get the other 3 original starters in the course of the game, which I absolutely liked back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that they're doing it, because when I read up on it, you keep the partner Pokemon. It counts as being in your party, but you can also catch more Pikachus and Eevees and everything else. But like your partner Pokemon will never evolve, but you can put it in the box and stuff. So it'll probably be what we're used to, at least.
Another few great things are that you can actually go in like with the more recent Pokemon titles and you can pet them, maybe even feed them things. You can clothe them, at least your partner Pokemon. You have different outfits for Pikachu. You have different stuff for Eevee, as you can see right now on stream, which is lovely. And you can also have more than just that one partner Pokemon follow you around. So it's really great. And as I said before, you can catch Pokemon now by just throwing a Pokeball at them. My God, so many Poke words. And the greatest thing that I personally like, it's a more casual game, so you're not fighting Pokemon, you only have trainer fights, and you also have no random encounters anymore. It will be just like as I see right now on the stream. Pokemon will just be visible in the area, and you have to actually meet them physically sort of in the game in order to interact with them, which I personally like because I can just avoid all the... What's it one called in the caves that's always there?
Wait, it's Zubats.
Zubats, yeah.
You
can just run around them, hopefully. Unless they're like walls of them everywhere, like, oh no! Repel!
Oh no. Gone are the days where you'd run in circles until and then run away from the Pokemon until you found the one that you were looking for. I had like a 6% chance to find on a sunny day at 2:00.
I mean, it's probably still the same. So if you go into an area, it will load up and it will say you have a chance of 5% that right now, there will be this specific Pokemon here. So there will be a sort of rarity thing, but you can sort of decide if you want to interact with Pokemon or if you just want to walk through.
Yeah.
Another great thing is, as I explained before, you have only one controller, but you can still use the other one for a friend. So you have local multiplayer, and you can just say, hey, why don't you join up with me? You will get a second avatar, which will play alongside with you in the world. So it's, again, different than the previous titles. It's not just limited to trading and fighting. You will actually have co-op where you can walk around and have the adventure together with friends. They will also join up in you with battles, so it will be a double battle then. And yeah, they even have Pokemon One running behind each one of the avatars. So I like to think this is great. Sadly, apparently, there's no online functionality at all there, so you don't have trading at all, sadly. So I really like to think this is sad.
I think my question about it is, like, you can help each other catch Pokemon, so I want to know, are you just catching that Pokemon for the main player, or are you doing it for both? Because I know you can technically, like, if you have different types, you're able to still play together. So if you have Pikachu and I have Eevee, we can still play together.
And I think that's not happening now, Ed.
It's not?
I think if it's how I think it is, you will always just be literally player 2 as a second version, like with the Mario titles where you're either Cappy in Odyssey or you're just the star pointer in Galaxy, right? You're not an entity in that game.
Okay.
It would be interesting, though, to allow your... So, like, if you could jump into a friend's world, you can either use your Joy-Con or your, or even with the Pokeball, allow you to come in with your own Pokemon and then maybe catch some Pokemon in your friend's world and bring it back to yours.
It would be interesting too, because all Pokemon games have like this one has these Pokemon, and you can only get it in this one. And this one has the other one, so it'd be pretty cool if you could like combine both.
That's
games.
That was why I was thinking maybe they actually do it like if you buy Eevee, you have Eevee as a starter, and you will have in both games the same types of Pokemon, so all 150 in all of these two games. Because it would be really bad if they have no trading at all. You can't get anyway all the 150 Pokemon, right?
See, I think the way that they could easily like do kind of a little bit annoy people, but also kill two birds with one stone, is if you wanted to trade a Pokemon with a friend, you take your Pokemon Go Pokeball, you take that Pokemon, you put it inside, you bring it to your friend's house, throw that Pokeball onto their game, and then they transfer a Pokemon into your Pokeball, and then you take it back to yours. That's the only way I could see them
that would be
doing
amazing.
trading.
That would be pretty cool to me.
That would, I would like that, but I know somewhere out there in the wonder that is the internet, somebody would be like, "Well, that means I have to buy another thing to trade with people."
Yeah.
Yes, but that's the whole point. That's what makes the game like.
Back in the day with the Wii and Wii U, you could actually save at least one thing on your controller. You could take that controller with you to another friend and load your Mii onto the other person's Wii. So you had actually your save as well with you all the time. You could continue on that. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the way Nintendo might do trading, if they decide to do it, would be to force everybody to play Pokemon Go and do trading within that. Because I think they still have that in the plans.
Okay.
So you probably have to go through taking the game from Let's Go, putting it into Go, and then trading that way.
Wouldn't be too bad because it's free to play, right? So
yeah.
I wonder if they'll have linked accounts with it. So, like, I have an account in Pokemon Go. Will I be able to link that up with my Let's Go Eevee
it should absolutely work because as the next part, they have functionality for that. You can open a Go Park on the Let's Go game, and that will send Pokemon from your Pokemon Go save over to your Nintendo Switch, so you can see the Pokemon that you caught in Go in a park like 3D environments where you can walk around, you can inspect them, and even legendary Pokemon like Moltres, as you can see right now on the stream, these are all of them can be transferred over to the Nintendo Switch. The question is that then the only thing, or can you actually keep them there as well?
Yeah, because that seems to me like it's just a visual version of Pokemon Bank.
Yeah,
where you've got this is my collection of Pokemon, and I'm going to put it in my Pokemon. I can't remember what you called it, like a Pokemon Zoo or something.
Park.
Pokemon Go Park. There we go.
Whatever.
Park. Yeah. So that then maybe other friends can see your park, or then you can use it as a bank area to store your Pokemon, so that they're not always in your PC or wherever you put it. So, yeah.
You can definitely tell that this is the Pokemon kind of more catered to casual playing.
Absolutely.
I can understand why they waited for the next title till next year. It's kind of like, here's the first Pokemon game on the Switch. Let me transition you to how we're evolving.
Yeah.
And then next year, you get into like the real action.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I was saying all day today, I'm happy that it's more casual because it means I have to spend less time in it. And I can still enjoy it more because I don't have time anymore or patience for long and drawn out RPGs. I don't like to say they're bad. It's just my personal taste. And I'd still love to play a game like Pokemon. That's why I'm playing all the Pokemon spin-off games. I even played Pokken for a while. I love the Pokemon pinball games because I like their cute characters and they had cute things to play with. Even the Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy Color, I played that until, I don't know, I had everything in there. Literally every card, even these super rare ones that you could get only 3 events, I had that there. And now with Pokemon Go and having a more versatile and even more a bigger game in itself, that is Pokemon Let's Go, I hope that is something that I can enjoy fully without needing to grind too much or whatever. Because especially you catch
nice
Pokemon just with the
Pokeball.
Yeah, it's so much easier then. We're way faster to get all the Pokemon. Yeah, but I think with Pokemon Go, they already have new Pokemon in here, and here's the thing, maybe Pokemon Let's Go will also get continuous updates, just like Pokemon Go, where they will bring in more than just the first 150 Pokemon, so it will be more like a live game, which I hope at least, maybe that will be a great addition to that, maybe even a paid DLC, I don't know. If it works out well and if it's fun, I'd even pay for example, Yoto region, which was the second one, right? Kanto, Yoto?
Johto.
So if they make it like a next DLC and you can play all through Yoto and get all the Gen 2 Pokemon in that, while you can also catch them in Pokemon Go already partially, that would be amazing. I would be totally up for that.
If we could have a Pokemon MMO someday, Nintendo.
Maybe that will turn into something like that, right?
Yeah.
mean, Pokemon Go in itself is an MMO. It's just not like as interactive to each everyone.
Yeah, it's not the. I'd say it is an MMO by all intents and purposes, but it's not the MMO that we like envision or want. Because I think I've played several online versions of MMO Pokemons that are not quite Nintendo friendly. But
I probably played the exact same one.
Yeah. So, but that's hopefully one day they'll do something like that. I think it's more of a case of they have enough regions and they have enough areas to do it. It's just deciding to actually push something like that, or get to a place where they're happy to push something like that, because they want to figure out all the logistics and everything. But yeah, this game, Pokemon Let's Go, looks so interesting, and it's definitely one of those games that I'm adding to my slowly but ever growing list of Switch games that I need to buy when I get a Switch.
Got a full library.
Right, then that's it for our Pokemon talk. We're already a little in overtime. The good thing is we're going to have one new news topic. I hope nobody has to leave in the next 10 minutes or so. Are we good?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome.
OT time, boys. Let's go.
Right, so, I mean, the last bit of news is not that big in terms of content, but it's really huge for all the fans out there, and that is, of course, about Fallout 76. I really like the joke that I made here, because I said, God damn, I miss Fallout 5 to 75. Yeah, so it's a new title. Apparently not a real game like Fallout 5 would have been. It seems to be that this is a spin-off game. It plays around in the year of 2102, and will, of course, deal with the Vault 76, which we've heard of already in Fallout 3. And that vault is not just like any other, where we just had some different experiments. That was an overseer vault. So way different kinds of people in there. And we also saw in the trailer apparently a new version of the Pip-Boy. So new technology in there. For the first looks that we got, actually, it seems to be that it's based on the same engine as Fallout 4. And that is why I'm thinking it's probably more of a spin-off title than an actual big release of that game. But who knows? We'll see, of course, at E3 what it is really about. That is June 10th, starting 6:30 p.m. PT. Then Bethesda will have their E3 presentation at their twitch.tv/Bethesda.
Hopefully it's better than their last E3 presentation, which was honestly one of the weirdest things I've ever sat through. It was interesting, and it gave me some cool stuff, but it was just kind of like, and you're remastering Skyrim on the Switch, and you're probably going to do it on a phone, and my couch later on. I don't know where else are you going to remaster it, but
Skyrim on the Stream Deck.
Skyrim on a potato.
Skyrim in the pool.
God damn it! I saw Skyrim in my toilet. What the? Like, holy no!
But yeah, it's. I'm hoping that they do something. Well, there we go. Trying to get the focus. Haha. So yeah, I'm hoping that they give us a little more information about it, and they break away from let's give you more Skyrim, because Skyrim is nice, but once you've done a couple of versions, I think it's like just leave well enough alone. It's good. You're done. So let's. I really want to know some more information about this Fallout. Is it going to be very similar to Fallout 4? Is it going to have new things altogether? What is it? Is it a DLC? Is it a completely new game? Is it a, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping it's going to be something good, but you never can tell. So
yeah, Obsidian is definitely not working on us. So many people are like, oh, because they like the Obsidian titles more than the other main titles. I don't know. I've never played them, sadly, but I played Fallout 4 for like an hour, and that was on PlayStation 4, like shortly after release, where it didn't run that well. And I just gave it to a friend of mine and said, here, you can play this. And he loved it. I don't know. It's different types of players, I guess. So, yeah. Congratulations, Fallout, for getting a new title. I don't know what it is exactly. And, yeah, rip to all the people that were hoping for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
They've already said that's going to be a few years out, so I'm not holding my breath as a massive Elder Scrolls fan.
If they'll tease it like at the end of their E3 little conference.
They'll just have like
the soldier jokes with this though.
The soldier. So yes, they're good ones. But yeah, at the end of the Bethesda live stream, they just have one guy who just speaks for 2 seconds about the Elder Scrolls and then leaves, and then they were all like, "No, come back!"
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that was Pete Hines, one of the guys that I talked about before. Before we did the stream, I think people were asking him and his nephews even that they don't know anything, and he doesn't tell them anyway. So leave Pete Hines alone and the family too. Yeah, man. No, I've seen so many people who were literally mad seeing the Please Stand By screen yesterday. Because if you haven't seen that, Bethesda did a 24-hour live stream, which was one of those April Fool's live streams that we saw this year, like Overwatch did.
Like the Overwatch, yeah.
I mean, that was funny when something happened. If nothing happened, well. But yeah, they had different things that were actually connected to this release here, because Fallout, God damn it, English. Vault 76. Yeah, hey, they were the ones where they also celebrating the sort of Reclamation Day, if I see that correctly here, and that is 20 years after the bombs were dropped. They were going underground, and then they come back to the actual overworld. And sadly, as you know now, that didn't happen. Actually, we're now playing the game 5 years after that was supposed to happen. And all this celebration stuff, as we can see in the screenshot right here, right now, was also led on by the live stream as well, because people were throwing balloons around. Pete Hines was giving us a drink and cheered us on, like, "Hey, cheers, mate," and all those things. And I was thinking, like, that's just really weird. What has that to do with anything? And now that we saw, like, okay, maybe it's a little bit about people celebrating, not just celebrating that there is a new Fallout title. There's also some connections to the events leading to probably just the start, but still leading to what happens in Vault 76. Yeah, that's really cool.
Awesome.
Gonna see very soon what this is all about, so I don't worry too much about it.
E3 is coming, and so is the hype trains. It's a hype station.
E3, hurry up, because Kingdom Hearts 3 news, I'm waiting for it.
I can't wait for all of that stuff. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, quick fire round. What do you want to hear? What are the 3 things that you want to hear at E3? Just, you start.
Obviously, Kingdom Hearts 3.
I knew it. I mean, true. There's something that I would also love to see.
I don't know beyond that, honestly. Because my mind's been so focused on Kingdom Hearts that everything else I'm just like, I'm fine with anything.
Okay.
Like, just bring it. Bring the release date.
Dan, what do you want to see at E3?
I am very one track mind with E3, and I'm really hoping that they either give one of 2 things. I'm there. I'm hoping for.
Oh, you can do that too. Okay.
Words.
That was the battle royale brain mode, where just last thing so I was like, I don't.
It's fighting for control.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some news on Halo. Either the next Halo game or the Halo TV series. I want some more information about that, because I am looking forward to more Halo stuff, and they haven't done stuff for a while, which is good. They've taken a breathing period to go, let's have a look at what we've done wrong, let's have a look at what we've done right, where we can improve, and I'm really hoping that there's going to be some really, really cool stuff announced. But as a Halo Microsoft fanboy, you can always dream.
Absolutely.
It's such a fun series, too.
Oh, it is. It's super, super good.
We still need to play that.
I know. I'm finishing something.
I heard of that. Yeah, soon, people. Yeah, the one thing that I want to hear about 83 is I don't think many people want to see that, but from all the things that you said, I'm all with that. I just want to hear 2 things. that the next Destiny Comet DLC, the one that's like the Taken King, is big, is awesome. Just gonna enjoy Destiny 2 again, please. But I can start enjoying it at least, that would be great. Like throwback to Destiny 1 with Taken King. I love that game so much.
Yes,
that was redeeming.
If they can just bring us back that Taken King feel, because so many Destiny content creators, you see us saying like we're tired of this, like, but we're holding out hope for that fall release because the Taken King brought us back.
It's so weird. They slowly now have plans like they're bringing back randomized weapons. So the thing that they just threw away, starting with Title 2, every weapon that you find has just one version, and it got super boring. And it's not just inclusive; it's also super boring. Then, and they can do way more things to include new people than having different types of weapons that are basically the same. Like even between different weapons, like auto rifles, to me, still fall just under 3 classes: the high velocity ones and the ones that are just high fire rate. And between those two, there's no big difference, even the ones that we have. So I still think that at least with the randomized weapons, at least some part of that cool old school feeling. I say old school, it's just a few years ago, but still, that some of that comes back with Destiny 2 soon with the new updates. So
yes, I want to feel like as amazed and like invested in the game as I used to be with Destiny 1, because now it's just like I'll play for Iron Banner, but there's nothing I necessarily need versus Destiny 1 where you're like, I need the Galahorn, I need the Hawk Moon, I need this and this.
It was one of those things where, like, in the first one, there was these super hard to get items that everyone would grind for, and I think they really started to go downhill when they introduced. My camera is skipping air. When they started to introduce the you could buy from the Agent of the Nine, because everyone. I seem to be the only person in my friends group who ended up going to see him when he had Galahorn, and everyone was like, "How did you get Galahorn?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I just bought it for like 20 credits or something." It was super
we never
easy to buy.
We made that mistake. They're like, "Oh, it's just a rocket launcher. We're not going to spend strange coins on that."
The first time nobody was thinking like, this is don't care about that.
I just don't. I hope that when they bring back the randomized weapons, I really hope that they learn from their mistake and have a system in place that, like, if you miss out on said certain item that's super super rare, it gets less rare over time that you see it. Don't give me it to like increase it by 5% drop rate. Increase it by like 0.5% drop rate or something, but at least make it easier so that you don't have one person that's got 20 Galahorns and another person who's played for 4 times as long with no Galahorns. That was ridiculous. That was honestly one of the stupidest things.
I ended up getting the Galahorn in my first Nightfall, and then we did the class, and I got the Galahorn twice in one raid, and everybody was like, "I really hate you, and I never want to play with you again." I'm just like, "I'm sorry."
But yeah, I really hope that they learn from their mistakes with certain things, because the Destiny community for multiplayer has been one of the most interesting experiences to play through, because when you do raids and things, if you don't have certain gear or a certain light level or a specific set of things, you hardly ever get let into something, which is, I say that really ruins the community. But I hope that they learn and change a few things, because I want to be able to play raids, but I don't want to have to grind for about 40 hours after coming in after you've given me a new cool raid to be able to play said raid. So,
I mean, the latest one, here are a few things with the latest DLC. The story was too short. The points that they talked about were just, they were massive in potential, and they were done so quickly that I was thinking like, wow, you just wasted so much story that you could have told me.
Yeah.
Like this, especially with the, what was it called? Zul? The worm god? That could have been a whole game on its own. It's a worm god. It's one of the most impressive things in the universe, and we finish it off in 5 minutes. Like,
that made me so angry. It's like you can't put something into a lore and then brag about how great and colossal and powerful it is, but then the Guardian turns around and beats it in 20 seconds.
Like, if you think about how hard it was to beat Oryx in the Taken King, like he was made through these worm gods with a deal and all that, and we fight now one of these things that made Oryx, and we're thinking, oh god, that guy that was already impressive. How is it to fight actually with the worm gods? And it is ridiculous. So absolutely failing in that point. That's why I still need to do a review about that thing, but I'm still so annoyed about that. I basically play just 1 or 2 hours each week, just to get some things done, because I still want to have, my like level up there for the one character that I have. I don't even have 3 characters anymore. I don't even bother to level up my other 2. I just have my one hunter at 351 now, I think, and the maximum is 385. So I try to get it until November up to that point, so I don't have to grind too much with the new story, and then I can just go on with that. And with that, it's awesome. I would do anything to get my other 2 up there, but yeah, not worth it right now.
Yeah, the main problem I had was I could never keep up with everyone else's main strategy of 3 characters. I could only keep up with 1 character, and it's been the same for me for all MMOs. But with just playing as a Titan and for so long, and then switching into another character because that's the only way to play with 3 characters, then it was weird to get into that. And I hope they make it so that it's not so 3 characters are worth it because you get more items and more of this and more that, so. Yeah.
There were so many things that they could easily fix within a few months where I'd say fantastic. Like, I was looking back at shaders, like if you think every party now has its own shader, which sounds great in theory, but leads to a lot of cluttering in your shaders because you have massive amounts, stacks of just one shader, and you can't even throw them away at once. You have to click through every shader, and I'm at the point right now where I get new shaders from the new DLC, and I can't put them into my character because I already have so many of the different ones that I just don't use, and they are so annoying to get rid of. I just have to spend like half an hour to just get rid of that one stack, one by one, which is stupid. But that especially, like, we could talk about so many things that you can change. Randomize weapon police, make shaders just one thing again and make them worth earning. Like back in the day, even shaders were awesome to earn. Think about that. Like, but it's getting late, guys. Should we continue with the releases and then come to an end?
Yes.
All right.
I like the sound of that.
Right. Where is my goddamn list? It's here. We have, for the first release, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling. There we have. It's Onrush, and Onrush is a title that just looks cool. I'm going to show you the gameplay on screen right now. And this is a title coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on June 5th. And it's just how it looks like, a dope racing game, a little bit like, how can I compare it to? Micro Machines, maybe? If you play that, you can play with cars and bikes, you have abilities. Like, it's like the more awesome version of that one titled Blur. I don't know if you have played Blur ever, but it looks like that. It's really cool. And yeah, seems to be neat, coming on June 5th.
Awesome.
Next up, we have a cool game that I just personally like, based on how it looks like, because it's the infectious madness of Dr. Decker. And the text says here, you are a psychiatrist trying to solve a murder whilst treating the unusual patients of the recently deceased Dr. Decker. Type a question. Patients reply in full screen video and have questions for you too, but be careful what you say. Your words determine their eventual fates and your own. The whole thing just costs €9. So for that price, and if the premise is really how they tease it, that could be really cool. Like sort of set Avatar, where we just talk to one woman and try to recreate a murder case. Her story.
Okay.
That was also an awesome title. Didn't cost that much. Had like a few hours of game time, but the twist at the end was all worth it, and you can't play that a second time. Which, well, I think €9 as a price sounds good. So yeah, that is the Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker coming out. Oh, maybe it is out already. I can pay for it now. At least my list it says June 5th, so I'm a little confused right now. Oh, it's released 19th of May 2017. Why is it in this list now? Okay, anyway, guys, this is still an awesome title to talk about. I don't know. We usually take the list from VG247, and yeah, apparently we have that. Oh, wait, it's the console release that's coming out on June 5th. It's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, and it's already out on Steam. Okay, now we got it.
Okay. You have to look at that on Steam then. So the next game that we've got coming out on June 5th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One is Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. Now, I got to play this game at Gamescom last year, and those guys were super helpful and super fun to talk to, and the game was great. There was lots of chaos-filled craziness with your Space Marines. So yeah, you enter the chaos-infested Caligari sector and purge the unclean with the most powerful agents of the Imperium of Man. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr is a grim action RPG featuring multiple classes of the Inquisition who carry out the will of the Emperor even to the darkest reaches of the Imperium. And what's even cooler about this game is you can effects. They are planning to have different events that will allow you to affect the outcome of the universe as a whole. So if more people in the community who are playing online, if they decide to kill off a certain boss rather than kill off a different boss in a timed event, then the world and the universe will change according to that decision. So your game will be ever changing over the course of several months. So definitely something I am looking to get and play possibly extensively. But there was a lot of customization options, including having your own battleship that you could travel from planet to planet and battle to battle on, which was super cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on PC, you can play it right now in early access, and you can pay €50 for that or your local equivalent, and that's that. Full release now, June 5th. See it correct.
Buy it quick for early access as it goes up to €50.
It is already €50.
Oh, is it 50? I thought you said 15.
No, it is 50.
50.
Sorry.
Well, I'll still need to get it in early access.
Yeah. Next title is by the guys of Don't Nod. And Don't Nod, if you don't know, they did Life is Strange, the original one. They have a new game now coming out on June 5th, and that is a vampire. Costing around €50. You can get it now for 10% off. And it's about, well, where's the full text that I have here? I have the German version here. I don't know why the language changed again. Probably because I'm in private mode right now. Let me switch that up again.
Would you like me to read it out in English?
But in full British English.
In full British English. Okay.
Yes.
Tally ho, lad. London, 1918. You are newly turned vampire, Dr. Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, you must find a cure to save the city's flu-ravaged citizens. As a vampire, you are cursed to feed on those who vow to heal. Will you embrace the monster within? Fight and survive against vampire hunters, undead skulls, and other supernatural creatures. Use your unholy powers to manipulate and delve into the lives of those around you to decide who will be your next victim. Struggle to live with your decisions. Your actions will save or doom London.
That's pretty freaking good.
I should be pretty good at that.
Yeah, you were born there.
Old-timey voice.
You know, based on the screenshots, I'd say that it looks like a Prey. No, not Prey. What's the other title? Shit. Dishonored. Like a Dishonored game, right?
Dishonored.
Yeah. Looks a little bit like that. And if it plays out like that, I'd be totally up for that. So I might try Vampire and let you know about how that plays like. Seems to be a cool thing. I didn't know what to expect from Don't Nod after Life is Strange. But yeah, this game goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah, and it looks super, super good.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, which was a game that was kickstarted in the day, and I have a quick glance at the trailer here. The game's coming out to PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch June 5th. And it says here, the world is on the brink of disaster. Demonic celebrities have taken over the planet. Only one man can save us, a poor Chinese orphan named Chok Fei Hong. Our hero must travel to faraway locations to lay the smackdown on those pop culture icons bent on our destruction. Will he triumph? Of course he will. It's Shaq. Apparently this is like really iconic. I don't know about that, sadly. It's probably for my time. But yeah, maybe worth delving into it. I'm checking it out, at least for some impressions, and maybe I'll look at it later.
Oh, Shaq.
Hey, if it's a fun game, like really cool character appearances, maybe. Can be fun. Right, next up we have a game that I really like just looking at it, because it's one of those speedy future racing games, and this one is called Anti-Graviator. Says here, Anti-Graviator is a sleek new take on the anti-gravity racing genre. Use traps, power-ups, and boosts to overtake your opponents and dominate the track in single-player or multiplayer mode, with no speed limit holding you back. Anti-Graviator delivers the fastest racing experiences in the future. This thing is this is not coming to console or anything, so it's not like Ridge Racer, which is for PlayStation, or the other game that we had on Nintendo Switch recently. This is just on PC, coming out on June 6th, and I don't have a price, sadly. But yeah, it looks quite cool, and then on the trailer you can see it here. If you're a fan of the game genre, like myself, for example, maybe that's worth checking out.
You're going to get some insane reactions with an unlimited speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's going to be... You're going to have some really interesting YouTube videos of people just, like, dominating tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Right, the next game I literally don't care about, but maybe some people do, so let's quickly mention it. It's MotoGP 18. It's the 2018 season of that motorcycle racing game, and yeah, coming out on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, June 7th. There's not much that I can tell about that. To make it exciting, it's just a racing simulation game. But if you were waiting for that one, coming out soon. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest with that. I'm way more interested in this title here. This is Sushi Striker, The Way of the Sushido. Coming out on June 8th to Nintendo 3DS for $30. It's literally just a, how can we call it? A match-free type of game where you just eat sushi fast. And you have to use your pen to collect different or the same types of sushi to eat them fast. And in order to win against the opponent, as I read it here, just have to win a certain amount of sushi to eat. So, sounds stupid. It's more like an adventure game. And I just really like the premise of that. Just eat sushi as fast as possible by connecting a line to all the same kinds of sushi and then dropping there. Could be fun. And it's out very soon. I hope that they have a demo for that. Maybe they have that. I don't know. But yeah, it says here, help Musashi end the Empire's tyrannical monopoly of the world's sushi supply by becoming a sushi striker. Devour conveyor belt sushi, matching plates, and sushi types to defeat any enemy or boss who stands between you and victory. Befriend sushi sprites and use the powerful skills in battle. Deliciously strategic action RPG puzzles await. What is this game?
If this game is crazy as it sounds, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's usually the stupidest games. If they sound really stupid, they end up being so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, dear. So, I think that is the list.
That is the
future
list.
Games.
Thank you so much. Yeah, let's come to an end, right? So, Dan, thank you as always for joining me for the podcast. Good luck tomorrow for the thing that you have. And
you got this.
Soon you're free.
Thank you very much. I've got this. I can do it.
Right.
You can
get to the end.
Where can people find you on Twitter and on the website?
So, you can find my Twitter handle right over here. At DJH331, and if you want to find me anywhere else online, any games, any media platforms, anything you want, if I am on there, just search for DJH331 and you should probably find me.
Cool. And of course, special thanks to our guest joining us today, Justinuhh. Where can people find you and what do you do next?
You can find me on Twitter at Justinuhh, Justinuhh. Same with Twitch. That's where I stream most of the times, variety games. So if you're into that sort of thing, come check me out.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a specific time usually?
Typically, American time, it's usually nights.
It's always late at night here also.
For the rest of the world, it's either going to be super early for you or super late. But it's typically like in like 2 p.m. Central Time to like 10, 11 o'clock p.m. at night.
Yeah. Come on, webcam. Yeah,
webcam issues.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Maybe we can call you back in again if you liked it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks, of course, also to the people that joined us today. I'm still blurry. Oh my god! I paid €200 for this.
You just need to be closer to the screen in general.
Oh, it doesn't
You
help.
just have the full frame. Just has to be your face.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks to all the people that came out today. Lots of new faces here. Thanks for the follows and thanks for the subscriptions. I'm the Blurry Houses. You can find me at HAU5Test everywhere on Twitch, Steam, whatever you want. And of course, you can find me over at thenewbyte.com. Please join our Discord if you want to talk to us. We have lots of cat pictures to share with our bot and lots of nice dog pictures as well. They're really cute. So find us there at thenewbyte.com/Discord. This is where you will find our invite directly to come to our Discord, and let's have lots of fun and conversations about games. And yeah, hopefully next week I'm back again. Less blurry, who knows? And everyone have a great week. Have a nice day, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's so blurry. Oh my god.